Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us, from all of us here at the ASAP Network.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the ASAP Sports Network. I am Ace from the West Coast. I am joined tonight by none other than J-Mac. Let's call him J-Mac and Beard tonight. Let's call him that. So
Okay.
J-Mac and Beard.
Let's do it.
So how you doing tonight?
Oh, pretty good. It was a really nice day today. Unlucky I was stuck inside all day. Life of a retail manager. What can you really say?
So you know what we're calling tonight? Tonight's episode of Sportsminute. It's called Open Forum. That's right. It's round 2 of the Open Forum. And basically, all it is the Open Forum. Since there's 2 of us tonight, all we do is we just talk about various topics that we kind of just caught our eye and we feel like talking about. So with that, I'm going to go ahead.
But before we get started, though, Ace, I got one thing I got to say.
Go ahead.
So I'm glad she just said, hey, guys, by the way. Suzanne, she's the one of the paparazzi jewelry. She got us. She's our very first sponsorship on the network, our longest running. And she actually has got some new stuff in. She is going to have a live coming up soon. So when that comes up, we are going to help her out with that. We're going to promote that for her. So be watching out for the new live from her and the new line of stuff she got.
Sounds good to me. I like it. We are certainly ready to go. And if anybody likes any of the Cincy stuff, there's some Cincy stuff that you can get, like NFL type stuff too, if you like that. NFL, MLB, NBA, whatever you like. They have all kinds of Cincy stuff on there. It's pretty cool. All right. So now we're gonna start with our open forum. And so with this one, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start with J-Mac. So, J-Mac, is there anything that caught your fancy, anything that caught your eye or whatever that you kind of wanted to discuss or bring up or anything?
Man, we could go for the entire hour if I bring a certain something up. But I don't know that we want to talk. Go ahead.
Because I was going to say, I know last week we talked about how poorly the Atlanta Braves got off to a bad start. So I'm assuming that's probably the conversation that you were headed towards. And so
Yep.
Yeah.
So I just kind of what? I don't even want to go there. We all know what's going on. The only thing I'm going to say on the entire subject is Acuna for MVP. The guy is playing out of this world. And it's funny that I shared something with the group yesterday about it, and they said, he leads the league in all these categories. Oh, but he's not that great. He's only second in average. So, but he led in homers, RBIs, total bases, extra base hits, slugging, OPS, on base percentage, just the list goes on of the stuff he was first in, but he was only second in average, so he's not that great.
Right. He's not he's not super great.
But the guy's playing out of his mind, Gotta say that.
All right, so some little bit of open forum stuff that we're going to talk about tonight. So, kind of the first thing that I want to bring up is because it's kind of something that's under the radar that a lot of people don't follow, but that's why we call it Sports Minute, because we like to go in and we like to talk about various topics, various sports that people don't really that people don't always touch on is what I should say. Well, this one is actually gymnastics. So when it comes to gymnastics, I want to give a shout out to the Michigan Wolverines, who have actually just won their first gymnastics title. So I will say, you know what? Congratulations to Michigan Wolverines for doing that. Now, J-Mac, I know I know in college you're a Ducks fan, but I'm not quite sure.
I am,
with the Badgers though. But for me, because I'm a Badgers fan, that Michigan is a rivalry. But even though they're our rivals, I still want to tell them, hey, congratulations, their first gymnastics victory. Okay, because every time you see history, it's always fantastic to see it. So what's your thoughts on that? What's your thoughts on Michigan Wolverines' first ever gymnastics victory?
Hey, I mean, a national championship is a national championship. So that's one more for your trophy case in Michigan. And hats off to you. Gymnastics is not something I could do. I could not do it. It takes talent, and it's not something that's easy to do. So that's what I think about it. I think it's great. I think anytime you win a national championship, that means you practiced, you worked your heart out, you've earned it. So you earned it. Hats off. I tip my cap to you, and congratulations to the Michigan Wolverines on a national championship.
Yeah, and the interesting thing about it is think about who they actually beat. So going into this, they were actually matched up against the reigning Oklahoma Sooners, which was the reigning champions. So not only did they come in and win their first one, but they came in and actually beat the reigning champs for their first ever title. And it was tied up going into the final event of the night. So congratulations on that. And what's interesting though is that Michigan is only the 7th school to ever actually win it, because you have those certain schools that kind of dominate in gymnastics, kind of like when you look at college football. You have those certain teams in the SEC that dominate every year, the ACC, whatever, that kind of dominate every year. But when it comes to this, that was the crazy thing, because they were only the 7th school to ever do it.
Right.
So hats off to Michigan, and maybe 2 years in a row. So not only did they win their first one, but I guess we'll see how it goes next year. Can they defend their crown? Can they keep it? Can they not? I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see. So do you have any other comments that you want to say on this?
I mean, no, not on that. I think that it's again, it's a national championship, and we can't take anything away from it being a national championship.
Yep, hats off. So the only thing, because I don't want to sit here and I don't want to talk about the Braves the whole time, because that would just bore everybody. But the one thing that I do want to, that's kind of been underneath the radar a little bit, because a lot of people don't even know who he is, because he's been in the minor leagues for so long. You probably know where I'm going with this. I'm talking about Kazmir Jr., who has not played in an MLB Major League game since 2008, and he finally played in his first one today since 2008. So congratulations to him. Now in spring training, when you saw it, the dude was absolutely tearing it up in spring training. So to me, it was actually kind of surprised that he didn't make the initial roster and that they sent him back down. But he gets his chance, and I know he was 0 for 1 today, so I guess we'll see. We'll see how the rest of his time comes at the major league level, because we do have a few injuries going right now.
Yeah, I guess the last thing I'll say about the Atlanta Braves is, no matter who we sign this offseason, no matter what this last year, I am giving a cap tipping right now to the signing of Pablo Sandoval.
Oh, absolutely.
That guy, the Giants gave up on him twice. Not once, but twice. And the guy can still rake. I mean, think about every time. So all 3 of his home runs have been pinch hit home runs this year. So here's the guy sitting there in the dugout for 7 innings, sunglasses on, chewing his tobacco, congratulating his teammates as they come by if they score a run, keeping them upbeat, keeping them going. And then Snit's like, all right, Kung Fu Panda, you're up. And then he just walks out there, takes a couple practice swings, goes down 0-2 in the count or down to 2 strikes, swings at the next pitch and hits it over the fence, and he's done it 3 times. So, I mean, the guy is he's hitting 400 with 3 homers and 7 RBIs as a pinch hitter. I don't even know. You tell me that signing isn't worth it at this point.
When you have a guy that's coming off the bench that's raking like that, it's definitely worth it. I mean, Sandoval's not a guy you're going to bring out every single game to start. You're just not going to do that, but you need that veteran presence that can come in off the bench and do that.
Yeah, I think his only starts this year will be if Freddie needs a day off, which Freddie usually plays almost every game every year. 157, 158. So there'll be 4 or 5 games Freddie needs a day off to on a doubleheader day, or when he played 8 days in a row or something like that. And then Sandoval will get the start at first, I believe. And he'll probably be the DH when we go into interleague play as well.
Yeah, but I was going to say, keep in mind, though, too, that, I completely forgot. Oh, yeah, that Sandoval has played third base in his career, too. So,
he has. He has. But, we have Johan Camargo.
Oh, Camargo. Yeah. Yeah, I'm speechless on that guy.
How about, though, we talked about Sandoval, but he's not the only one that's playing well off the bench. What about, I just blanked his name. Arizona?
Yeah, Arizona.
Arizona, that's it. Yeah. I mean, he's hit off the bench, too. He's come in and started some games. I think he's hitting over 300, and he's got a couple of homers and some RBIs. So,
well, that was one thing that that was one thing that last year in the NLCS that Atlanta was lacking on the side was bench. There wasn't a lot of bench. Didn't really have a lot of depth on that. And this year we have more depth than we ever have. And so I was kind of excited when I'm like, oh, we have so much depth now that we don't have to freaking have Camargo up on our bench. Like, we can have him in minor leagues and not have to worry about him. And then we start getting injuries, and then I see, Camargo's back at the major league. And I was like, you got to be freaking kidding me. Camargo's back at the major league level? No, man.
Yeah.
Not Camargo. Yeah. I don't want him back at the major league level.
You know how much injuries have plagued your team when yesterday they needed a pinch runner and they went to Kung Fu Panda.
Right, yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You're like, okay, so we're having Pablo Sandoval run. We are hurting right now.
Yeah, and our starting rotation, we have injuries on the starting rotation side because you saw Fried, who went on the IL. You now have Drew Smiley, which they said Drew Smiley might miss one start. The last start he missed, which was yesterday, which was started by Kyle Wright. And congratulations to Kyle Wright.
Hey,
he didn't pitch terrible.
I take nothing away from Kyle Wright. We should have left him in that game just a little longer to qualify for the win. Basically, he was a couple pitches away from 5 innings, 2 runs.
One run.
I'm sorry. Yes, he only gave up 1. You're correct. He kept us in that game. He pitched his heart out. And so definitely Kyle Wright, if he can pitch like that every time out, he'll win us some games this year.
But the thing is how long are we going to rely on him for? Because, I know that Max Fried's hurt and now Smiley is, but Smiley will probably be back. But, what's going on with Morton? Soroka, I believe he's also on the IL too, so he's kind of hurt. So we're kind of just injured. It's the early season injury. That's why I've always said I would rather the injuries happen right now than at the end of the year when we're about to make a playoff push and we're almost in the playoffs, and then our guys start dropping like flies.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I'd
yeah,
rather all the
for
injuries
sure.
happen right now and get the injury bug over now than have it happen later.
Well, for sure, because you can even see, I mean, again, it's still early. We're only talking we're 15 games into a 162-game season. So we're not that far in yet. But you could see it even now where everyone was like, is it time to panic? Is it time to panic when these guys weren't hitting? We've seen it the last 3 days where finally, Marcel is hitting the ball. And Freddie's starting to hit the ball better. And even Austin Riley's getting into the game. He's got some more hits. So these guys are now starting to hit the ball and catch up. So now we can get the pitching on that side and we could score some runs. We'll win some games. And so, yes, you're already starting to see them improve throughout the season for sure. And we're only 15 games in. So.
All right. So what I want to jump into next on this is I want to talk about a little bit of the PGA. And first thing I want to touch on the PGA side is right now the tournament that's going on is the RBC Heritage. That's what's going on right now. Okay. So the only reason I'm touching on this is because this was round 3, and our leader right now is Kink, right, in round 3. But get this. Okay, it's in round 3, and the dude is 18 under.
Yeah.
18 under. I mean, that is just insane. He's currently 5 strokes ahead of second place, which is Marikov. And so imagine in 3 rounds, you're 18 under.
I mean, he's just lucky you or I aren't playing. We'd be like 20, 30 under.
Oh, yeah.
I'm kidding. We wouldn't even have made the cut. Okay.
No, not even close.
No, we wouldn't even have made the cut. So we're definitely scratch golfers. Just do it for a good time. No, it's impressive. I mean, you're hitting a 66 every day on an average. That's just an insane number. So congratulations to you, man. Five strokes up. You better not collapse on this one because this will be an all-time collapse if you give up this lead. 5-stroke lead going into the final round. You should have this one in the bag. I say go out there tomorrow, hit 3 birdies in a row, go up 8 strokes, and take it easy the rest of the round.
Unless Marikov gets a birdie, or basically, if Marikov gets a birdie, 3 consecutive holes too, like Kink, then it'll still be a 5 strokes. But at that point, the odds of him catching up with 5 strokes.
The odds of it anyway. I mean, you're talking about having to make – so even if you hit a 6 under tomorrow at Marikov, even you hit a 6 under, which would be – that means he'd have to hit even. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
And averaging 6 under per – that's probably not going to happen. So I think he can go out. I think he can go out tomorrow and hit it. He could even hit a 68 tomorrow, 4 under. That's going to give him plenty of an advantage to walk away with the tournament.
So if you had to say right now, how many strokes do you think he wins by? Do you think that Marikov is able to gain a little bit of ground?
I'll say he wins by 4. I think he'll give up 1. And I think that's only because you'll get in the back 9. You'll be up 5. You're up 5 strokes in 9 holes. That's not – you're not coming back from that. You're basically going to have to hit a birdie on every hole almost and hope that he doesn't hit 2 birdies or 3 birdies. So I say he'll win by 4. He might give up 1 stroke, but he'll cruise. He'll cruise to the win.
You know what I've always wondered, though, too, is when I'm watching this, I've always wondered – when a golfer, so let's say Kink is going into his final four holes, and he's like, okay, I'm up by 5 strokes. It always makes me wonder at what point is he like, you know what? I'm going to just relax a little bit. I'm going to back off a little bit because I've got this one. So sometimes I wonder if they get too lackadaisical out there because they think that they have it won. Because I've seen some collapses before. but I have not seen a collapse like this. If it happens.
Yeah. Well, I remember Tiger in his younger days. They asked him a question like that at some point, like how far ahead do you have to be before you're comfortable, going into a hole? And he said there's only been one time that he was up like 9 strokes going into the 17th hole of the final day. And then he kind of backed off a little bit on the final 2 holes because he's like, well, I'm up 9 strokes with 2 holes to go. I think I got this one won. But
and it's because you don't want to push it so you make that giant mistake that can bring somebody right back in it.
Yeah, for sure. So I think if he's up 4 strokes with 4 holes to go, he's probably gonna cruise a little bit on those last 4 holes and not take it so, but take more chances, if you will.
I mean, you might as well. And I don't mean if you have like a 5-stroke lead or 4-stroke lead with 4 holes left, that's when you want to look at it and be like, I don't want to take chances right here. So because I know sometimes players will get desperate with 4 or 5 holes left because they're trying to do whatever they can to gain ground on the leader. So they start taking chances, and they're like, okay, instead of going this way where I can go around the water or whatever, I'm going to try and hit it over the water. If you're up by 4 or 5 strokes, you're not going to take those chances on the final 4 holes. There's just no way. You're going to be like, I'm going to hit it around the water instead of going over, and I'll take that extra stroke to get around the water if I need to, because I'm not going to lose this huge lead.
Well, right. No, especially because if going to those final 4 holes and you're up by 4 strokes, all you have to do is hit par 4 straight holes, and the guy behind you has to hit at least 1 eagle to beat you on those 4 holes. And the likelihood of that happening probably isn't very good. So you can at least you can take that extra stroke and just par your way through the rest of it for sure.
Oh, absolutely. So what I want to throw out too is because a big name, Dustin Johnson. Okay, a lot of people when it comes to PGA, everyone's like, oh, what's going on with Dustin Johnson? Dustin Johnson today had a horrible day. He dropped 17 spots. He dropped all the way down. He's tied for 36. And that is what I'm talking about. You can have bad days like that, and you can go from being number 1 and drop all the way down because you have such a horrible round. And so you can't get too lackadaisical out there. No,
you can't. I mean, dropping 17 spots. We've seen it happen. We've been out golfing. You're hitting 4 or 5 good holes, and then the 6th hole comes, and it's like, oh, is that a good spot to be? Well, I got to take a crap, so yep, it's a good spot.
Right?
That's. It just happens. And that's the game of golf. Golf is great for forgetting your day. Getting rid of some stress and going out there because. Say, you're having a disagreement with someone in your family, your spouse, your kid, whatever, and you go out and you start hitting golf balls, you start playing 9 holes. Now you're getting so pissed off that you can't get the ball in the hole that you forgot about why you were mad when you went out there in the first place. So it's definitely good for blowing off some steam for sure.
So, Brandon, right now, what we're on, and welcome to Sportsminute.
Hey, no problem. Glad to hop on.
So basically what we're talking about now is we are talking about the RBC Heritage Open, which is currently going on right now. So Kink going into the final round, he's up by 5 strokes. 5 strokes, and the dude's shooting an 18 under. He's beaten Maricopa by 5 strokes. And so we're saying right now, what do you think the percentage is that Kink blows a 5-stroke lead in the final round?
Man, that's tough to say. I caught the end of J-Max. I mean, you have a couple bad shots. It gets into your head. You could drop a hole here or there. I mean, the percent's probably very small, probably less than 10% that he's going to lose the 5 strokes and drop out of first place. But you never know. I mean, he could wake up and just not be on his game, slice it here, slice it there, shank and iron, something bad just happened the night before. But yeah, I would say that it's a slim chance he's going to lose the 5-stroke lead going into tomorrow.
Yeah, because we were saying right now that even shooting an 18 under itself is impressive after 3 rounds. Yeah. That's real, like you're just on your game when you're shooting 18 under. That's so impressive. And so we were talking about, how golfers sometimes can get a little lackadaisical on the final rounds because they want to coast to that victory. And so, we're like, you got to really be careful about that.
Yeah, ain't there a saying in Tin Cup where what's his face says, "I'll take 18 of pars all day long," and McIlroy is like, "Well, you do that, I'm going to beat you," because I'll take
absolutely.
a par 30. So I know I messed up the quote, but I know it's something like that. But yeah, you can't be lackadaisical on golf. You got to play your game and hope for the best. You can't just go out there and try to be average when you're up this far, because somebody's going to have a stellar night and going to catch you very quickly. So,
right, exactly. Well, that was the other topic that I wanted to bring up because Kink was just playing so well that I'm like, I just have to talk about that, because imagine if he shoots a 4 under tomorrow, he could finish at a 22 under.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
that's crazy. But, me, I'd shoot like a 25, so.
Plus.
Right. Right. All right, so. So, Brandon, this is the open forum show. So a lot of what we're doing on Saturdays for Sportsminute, it's just open forum. We just come on here, we talk about, kind of whatever topic you want to throw out there. So is there anything you would like to bring up right now and give a shout out?
Well, I don't know what I missed earlier, so hopefully I'm not duplicating what you guys talked about earlier, but the Padres series this weekend is going to be on fire, and it started tonight. Kershaw and Yu Darvish had a battle for 7-8 innings. Last time I saw the score was 1-0 in the bottom of the 8th. But tomorrow's match was Snell and I can't think of the Dodgers pitcher right now. Bauer. Those guys are going to be. That's going to be another fun game to watch. So, what do you guys think?
Oh yeah. Dodgers and Padres, it's going to be the series to watch. And right now, the Dodgers are doing kind of what everybody thought. They're sitting right. They won again tonight. They won 2-0, and now they're sitting at 13-2. Kind of what everybody figured, because they went out. They got all this pitching, so they're doing exactly what everybody figured that they were going to do.
Yeah, exactly.
But now
sorry to cut you off there. I was just saying, we were talking about Michigan earlier in championships. No matter what sport it's in, it's a national championship, right? And that's good for your school. What I wanted to bring up was the NCAA bowling championship for the women's side of the NCAA bowling. And Nebraska actually won this year. They won their 6th title, their 6th national championship in bowling. And hey, again, bowling. Again, it's a trophy. It's a trophy at your school saying that you were the top bowlers in the country. So that's nothing to sneeze at, nothing to take away from those girls, that they earned that championship. So again, hats off to Nebraska on another national championship. It happens to be in bowling.
A title's a title. You can't take that away from you. So,
absolutely. We were talking about the gymnastics before you came on, because Michigan won their first gymnastics championship over the reigning champs, Oklahoma Sooners. So we gave a shout out to them to say congratulations on that.
Yeah, that's something I would never be able to do. So I'm not flexible.
Right.
So, but congrats to them. I mean, I know it's hard work to do. I mean, I know plenty of girls in high school that do it, and they put just as much time, if not more time, into their sport and gymnastics than most men do in other sports. So, kudos to them. So,
J-Mac, what else you got?
Well, actually, while Brandon's here, I was going to bring up the Wnba Draft because we were talking about this yesterday and how all the teams messed this draft up to where we're like, oh, Minnesota can't possibly get any better because there's not going to be any good players left. Then possibly the best player in the draft in Wnba Davis ends up with Minnesota. And when he messaged me that yesterday, I'm like,
yeah, you did.
I don't even know how that.
Of course, freaking Minnesota gets Davis. Of course they do. Why?
I don't know how she fell that far.
I don't know how she fell far either. There was also that shooting guard too from Rutgers that fell to the second round. That was supposed to be a powerhouse on the shooting guard side, and I don't know how she fell either. But typically, when it comes to the WNBA draft, it's this person's one, that's one. There's 2, 3. I mean, it goes down. There's not too many hiccups.
Now, not taking anything away from Dallas because they definitely got. I mean, they're going to be way better this year. Just even taking Collier first overall, that definitely was going to help their team right away. But I was like, how do you let Davis fall to the freaking Minnesota Lynx?
I'm telling you, though.
I'm so sick of hearing about the Lynx and how good they are, and now we're going to have to hear about it.
We need to have one good team. I mean,
you know what, though? I'm telling you, I'm jumping on that. I'm jumping on that wagon in Minnesota. I did not have them. I did not have them in the championship this year, but I think they're going to be there.
Yeah, they're turning out to be, kind of like the Lakers and New England in those sports where you can't count them out no matter the roster turnover or whatever. Cheryl Reeves got that team, running smoothly.
But that's why I'm with J-Mac on that. I'm like, I'm getting sick and tired of the Minnesota now because it's every year they just
I get it.
The right person.
Mm-hmm.
They get the right person. They do their job. Like they are. That they're sitting there like, well, we want Davis, but she's never going to fall to 9. And then they get to like 6, and they're like, wait, she's still there.
J-Mac, who did you have her going? And it's like, oh, they can't pass this one up. I mean,
well, I originally
had her early.
Yeah. So I originally had her going to Indiana because I just thought she could help that team so much. Yep. And then they did. Then Indiana took Gehrig instead. And then I was like, well, I'm sorry. Yes, that they took Gehrig. And then it was Dallas at 5. And I'm like, so if Dallas gets Collier, Coulier, and Davis, they're going to be in the playoffs and a contender right away. And I'm like, they can't let Davis go. And then they took Dungy. And I'm like, wait, now we're going to the Liberty. Now we're going to the Sparks. Oh, don't let her go to the Sparks. Wait, I don't want her to go to Chicago either. And please don't let her go to the freaking Lynx. And then she fell to the Lynx. So
can you imagine, though? Can you imagine, okay, if Moore was still on this team?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it'd be top. I mean,
if Moore did not opt out.
When they had Whalen and all those guys, or gals, I should say, they just kept adding pieces to keep going and going. And, so they had to rebuild a little bit.
But if Maya Moore wouldn't have opted out, imagine what this team would look like right now.
Well, they wouldn't have had probably the top 9 pick this year. I mean, they probably would have been down a little bit further. So,
but it would be hard to tell. It would be hard.
You're right.
I'm just saying. So take Maya Moore and put her on this team before she opted out, and look at this team now, and imagine where they would be.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I mean, the talent's all there. So,
the crazy thing is about all of that, right? is so Minnesota ended up with one pick in the draft. One.
Yep.
And who do they get? I mean, just what kind of luck do they luck into, you know?
It was weird. Hey, at least one basketball team has luck because Timberwolves should have had how many first overall picks and got 1 or 2, I think.
Yeah, so while you're on here, Brandon, let me ask you this. Are you happy, okay, that Alex Rodriguez is buying the Timberwolves? I have to know. How do you feel about that?
I am happy that they are being sold. Taylor, to put it nicely, needed to go. I mean, he shot this team so many times in the foot. They've only had one decent playoff run, and that was with Garnett, Cassell, Sprewell, and then he decided to let them go. He had the under-the-table contract agreement with Joe Smith that took picks away. He's signing the wrong guys to these multi-big contracts, can't get out of them. So, yes, I am glad that A-Rod's buying the team. Now, it doesn't take effect for 2 years, and Taylor has said that, the team's staying here. Well, after 2 years, he can't really say that. So there's been speculation that A-Rod and his group wants to move him, or is looking for Vegas and maybe Seattle. So if that's the case, go ahead, take the team, take the players. Please, though, leave the Wolves history. Granted, it ain't much, but let's leave the history here in Minnesota so Garnett can be retired as a Minnesota sports figure and not over in Seattle where he didn't play. So I hope they don't move. I hope A-Rod keeps him here because I think the Lynx are in the deal too. So he would have to move them with the Lynx, I believe. So, Seattle and Vegas both have WNBA teams. So, I mean, unless they want 2 of them. So, yeah, but no, overall, I'm happy that the sale is finalized. And we need to educate Mr. Edwards on who A-Rod is. So he doesn't know who A-Rod is. So, yeah,
that was that actually shocked me when he came out and was like, who's A-Rod? And I'm like, what?
Yeah, that shocked a lot of people. So, but we'll see where it goes.
Makes you feel old. That's what it does.
Right. It definitely does. And which brings me to my next question.
Oh boy.
No, it's not a bad question, but it's just, what's your guys' thoughts on the whole? All these ex-athletes starting to purchase all these teams now because
money makes money.
Because you saw Rodgers who started with the Bucks. He purchased interest in the Bucks, and then Mahomes went with the Royals, and then you saw Derek Jeter with the Marlins, and then you see Alex Rodriguez with the Timberwolves and the Lynx, and so
don't forget LeBron.
Yes, LeBron. So what's your thoughts on that? So what's your thoughts?
My biggest thing is, whatever. I mean, money makes money. But what about Dwayne Wade buying stock or ownership in the Utah Jazz? I mean, he spent his whole career in Miami. Yeah. So it's like, what are the fans thinking about that? Are they betrayed now that Dwayne Wade's buying a different team and not taking stock in Miami? I mean, what would your guys think if, let's say, A-Rod bought, let's say Rodgers or even Brett Favre. Let's say Brett Favre bought ownership in, I ain't going to say a division team because I know what your guys would feel like, but, let's say he bought Colts. What would your guys' feedback be, if one of your guys did that?
The only thing I'll say about the Green Bay situation is you can never buy that team because they're owned by the city.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I would understand in that situation, but they would have to keep it out of the division because that would not make me very happy. If they had ownership in Chicago, boy.
Let's take the Braves. I mean, you guys have, like Maddox and Smoltz. What if they would have bought
or Chipper?
Yeah, Chipper Jones. There you go. Chipper Jones, great one. He would have bought, the Cubs or the Royals or something like that. What would that make you guys feel like? I mean,
I mean, honestly, because he played his whole career in Atlanta, I would not. I don't think I would feel so frustrated. And the reason why I wouldn't feel so frustrated is because it now if Atlanta would have came out and said, hey, you know what? We're selling Atlanta. So does somebody want to buy them? And if Minnesota came out and said, hey, Minnesota's for sale, and then Chipper's like, well, instead of buying Atlanta, I'm going to buy Minnesota. Then I would be like, yo, man, you played with Atlanta your whole career and you chose Minnesota over Atlanta. Yeah, I would be frustrated at that point. But if Atlanta's not for sale at that point and Minnesota is or KC is or whatever, and Chipper's like, you know what? I want to own a team. That's fine. You got to do what you got to do. I have no hard feelings about that. But
it definitely it makes. I would love to see Chipper Jones buy the Mets and then bring back Shea Stadium. That would just be because then he could just blow it up. He could be the one that goes boom because he blew it up every time he played there.
I would stick to my stomach though. If Chipper Jones bought any part of the Mets or any team within the division, I would be seriously sick to my stomach.
Yeah.
Oh, no doubt. I agree with you. I mean, if Puckett was still around, I'd be a little distraught that Puckett would buy a different team, or even, Herbeck, being that he's from Minnesota, would go out and let's say buy Chicago and be like, dude, are you serious? Come on.
I'll say this though. Brandon made a good point with money makes money. I saw a graphic earlier that had Michael Jordan. 2 pictures of him, had him as playing days. And during his playing days, he made $173 million. Now, that's a god-awful amount of money.
Well, yeah.
We don't need to talk about, he'd make more if he played today, whatever. Last year, as a part owner of the Hornets, he made $175 million in 1 year.
Yeah, but
so and endorsements, I get that. But think about that for a minute. He made more in 1 year than he did his entire career as a part owner and all the endorsements that he has. So It's a smart investment on their part to start getting into ownership of a team.
But what I do want to say about this, though, is some things that boggles my mind just a little bit, okay, when it comes to players buying different sports teams. Now, I understand Alex Rodriguez – Or let's say Derek Jeter, for instance, purchasing part of an MLB team. I completely understand that because he played baseball. Okay. But you have Alex Rodriguez who's like, I'm going to buy an NBA team. What? An NBA team? Yeah. What? Since when did you play in the NBA? Since what the heck do you know? when Rodgers purchased part of the Bucks, I'm like, wait, you bought part of the Bucks, but you're NFL, so what do you know about playing basketball? And then the thing that got me the most was when they came out and said Michael Jordan has purchased a racing team. I'm like, of all things, Michael Jordan has his own what? Since when does Michael Jordan know anything about racing? But I guarantee what happened there was that somebody was like, you know what, Michael, you might be able to beat me at baseball, you might be able to beat me at basketball, but you can't beat me at racing. And Michael's like, well, hold my beer and I'll show you.
Yeah, we know Jordan and his gambling history, but a lot of those guys, it's the name that is the selling point,
Oh, yeah.
Like Jordan with racing, A-Rod with basketball. I mean, there's a joke going around now here in the papers and stuff that the reason why J-Lo left is because A-Rod was thinking about buying the Timberwolves, so that's why she left him. And now that the purchase is getting finalized, she doesn't want no part of them. So, but
it is interesting that guys are jumping sports. But being an owner is different, or personnel.
You're kind of breaking up a little bit.
Oh yeah, he's breaking up. Every time he breaks up, he always got that facial expression.
Yeah, he's got that certain facial expression he gets every single time. It's interesting. But
I mean, they got the money. They're going to spend it the way they want to. Granted, A-Rod, baseball guy, venturing into basketball. I mean, he's probably got some knowledge of the game, but it's not like baseball. Like, I get what you're saying, Ace, is, why are you venturing into a sport you didn't play?
Right.
But I mean, A-Rod's tried to buy some other teams and failed at it. I think the Mets were one. Maybe the Marlins before Jeter got there. So, hey, he's back.
Yeah, but like I was saying, you get the guys jump in. But again, player personnel, player operations. Who knows that if A-Rod isn't thinking, if I buy the Timberwolves, I can go out and recruit Kevin Garnett to be my GM and head of player.
God, I hope so. I hope so.
Because if he does that, then he's a genius. Because all he's doing is sitting in the owner's box, being like, "Look at all this money coming in, and look at what KG did for me."
Yeah, and I mean, I know KG wants to be part owner, and Taylor didn't want to sell to him for whatever reason. I still don't understand that, but man, if A-Rod brought KG in as another part owner or the GM, God, the roof would blow off of Target Center.
Well, I mean, think about that. Think about, even though he wanted to be part owner and that didn't happen for him. Could you imagine getting the phone call and then him just telling A-Rod, like, I know you know nothing about basketball, so you just own the team and you make all this money from being the owner. You pay me $5 million a year to be the GM and just let me run the team. Let me do everything.
Yep.
And you don't think A-Rod's going to jump all over that deal because he's got to do nothing?
Yeah. And that's the whole thing that's the whole thing that upset everybody with Taylor is that you got the face of the franchise, and one, his number's not retired, and two, wanted to be part owner of the team, and you told him no. Yeah, you can go and take a drive, Taylor. So hopefully it turns around for Garnett and the Wolves relationship. I hope so.
I think it will. If A-Rod's smart, it will.
Yeah.
A-Rod.
So, yeah. So speaking of
A-Royd.
Yeah, A-Royd. What about your guys' boy there in Atlanta, Acuna? I mean,
we actually talked about him at the beginning.
Oh, okay. I did miss that. Okay. Yeah, guy's on fire. Early MVP.
Oh,
yeah.
No doubt.
I
think it's because he cut all that hair off.
Right?
Yeah, maybe.
Like he cut all the hair off. Now he can run without his helmet coming off. Yeah.
So I mean, I would have said Buxton too, but he's now on the DL day to day. But speaking of Twins, what about last night's game when they had their backup third string catcher out there in the bottom of the eighth throwing some major heat, huh?
Throwing 50
that miles an hour,
cheddar.
Yeah.
He threw
had a 1-2-3 inning,
46 miles an hour, and that was wicked.
Yeah,
that was a wicked pitch. Like I'm watching that, and I watched him throw it, and I'm like,
oh yeah, it was like softball. But I guess Twitter was blowing up too because everybody's like, "Hey, that's Bartolone's cousin or brother."
Mm-hmm.
When did he start pitching or something like that? Nobody knew who he was. It was hilarious.
Throwing the cheddar.
Yeah,
the EPIS or whatever they call it.
Inning. And I'll tell you, it throws guys off. I mean, you've heard commentators talk about it, how you go from a guy that's throwing 96, 97 all game and throwing nasty stuff, and you're timing it, you're fouling off, you're hitting base hits, you're doing all this, and then you're up there and you're like, all right, I got this one. And you're standing up there and he throws the pitch and you're just like,
wait.
Oh, I waited too long. Then you're talking about a 50-mile-an-hour difference. Like, that's just crazy. But you know who did that? Did you see Greinke drop that one the other night?
Oh no, I missed that one.
Oh,
he threw a 96-mile-an-hour fastball, like inside and high for a strike. The next pitch, he throws a palm ball. No one's thrown that in 25 years. He throws a palm ball 51 miles an hour on the next pitch. And the guy swung at it, and he swung before the ball was even at home plate.
Right?
I got to look up that video. Those always crack me up when they swing way early like that.
Yeah,
so.
it was crazy. I was like, that makes him a good pitcher right there. The 45-mile-an-hour difference in back-to-back pitches was insane.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah. It messes with the mindset.
So now we come to the point of the show to where we have Ace's mini game, okay? And you know what we've been doing. It's been all about that trivia. It's been all about that trivia. So,
we had a great one on Wednesday.
That was just awesome.
So J
whoever said Charles Johnson don't know football.
So J Mac, you get that option again, and I would say choose wisely this time because
does it have to be NFL? That's my question.
Okay, what else do you want?
Well, I mean, if I had a preference, I'd go baseball and everything, but
let's do baseball. Come on, Ace, you got them.
You want an MLB trivia?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do some MLB.
Just do general. Like any MLB is fine.
Whatever pops up on your phone.
Okay, gotcha. Are you guys ready then? So, J Mac, you get to go first. Or no. Since you won last time, you want to go first or second?
All right, I'll go. I'll take it first.
Brandon, go first.
You're giving the first one to Brandon. Okay. So, Brandon, the first question is, against what opposing team did Babe Ruth hit his first career home run?
God. Yankees, wasn't it?
You got it.
Okay. I actually was just watching the Babe the other day. Great movie, so.
Nice. Okay. So there you go. Brandon, you're on the board. So
yes, I'm not shut out again.
So you're not shut out, and you currently have a 1-0 lead. So
yes,
congratulations on that. Brandon's up 1-0. J-Mac, the question
throw the no tonight.
Who was the first major league player to pitch a ball over 100 miles per hour?
Ooh.
Roger Clemens.
That is not correct. Brandon.
The only other one I can think of is Nolan Ryan.
And Brandon, you are correct.
2-0. Woo!
Brandon's feeling good. As soon as Clemens wasn't right, then I knew it was Ryan. As they called it Nolan Ryan.
I was tossed between the two because I'm like, who else is a fireballer back then?
No,
so
they were the only two. It was Nolan Ryan's Express and Rocket Clemens. Yeah.
Yep.
So before Bobby Cox broke the record for ejections in a game, what Baltimore Orioles manager was ejected from a record 91 games?
Oh, God. I know this is going to be wrong, and I'm going to kick myself. I'm going to say it was Ripken. I can't think of his first name, though. Pops of Cal Ripken.
And that is not correct.
I knew it wasn't.
J-Mac. So Brandon has now cooled off a little bit. He started 2-0, and now he's...
Yeah, I had to do a pass here.
J-Mac.
What's his name? Gosh dang it. I don't know if he managed for Baltimore though. McGraw?
No, the correct answer is Earl Weaver.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. That's why I was thinking McGraw, but yeah, he didn't coach.
All right. So the next question now comes to J-Mac. Who was the first major league player to have his number retired?
The first one?
The very first player to have his number retired.
By a team or by the entire league?
Who was the first major league player to have his number retired? So
that is kind of
I would say by the team.
Lou Gehrig.
That is correct. Lou Gehrig is correct.
I was going to say it's either
I
him
remember something about that because he was
or Babe Ruth.
Normally you wait 5 years to go to the Hall of Fame, but they didn't make him wait, and they expedited it so he could still get it while he was alive.
So J-Mac is now on the board. And
there goes no hitter.
Brandon is up 2-0, so or 2-1. So I'm sorry, Brandon, you can't pitch a shutout in this one.
Yeah. Oh well.
Now this next question is going to be easy. I don't think Brandon can miss this question.
Okay, we've heard this one before.
Unless he does like a Charles Johnson answer again. But what player, and J-Mac's going to be like, really? What player was nicknamed Mr. November?
Oh.
I actually know this answer.
As opposed to Mr. October, who was Mr. November.
Derek Jeter.
Gosh dang you.
Yes, he got it right. You got it right.
I had to think. I was like, was it Jeter or Rodriguez? But
yes, Derek Jeter. So Brandon's up 3-1. I figured you'd get that one.
Yeah, good thing I didn't say like Alex Jeter or something.
Oh. J-Mac, you should get this one. I think you will. Which pitcher had no right hand?
Oh man. Oh God. No. Do I have to know the first name? Because I know his last name. His last name's Abbott. Jim?
Yes, you got it.
Oh. I was yeah. I was struggling between Jim and Paul. I don't know where Paul came from, but yeah.
Paul Abbott was actually a pitcher too.
Okay, see? Yeah.
So 3-2 Brandon, okay? Brandon, this question comes to you. The Brooklyn Dodgers nickname originally referred to dodging. Very interesting, huh?
Yeah. I'm gonna say this is Brooklyn, New York. Dodging rocks.
Dodging rocks. That is not the correct answer. So, J-Mac, how about you?
Dodging the draft. Like for the military.
No, the correct answer is trolleys.
Oh.
And I was thinking traffic. I was like, why didn't I say that?
Traffic too. I'm like, no, that would make no sense. I was thinking traffic too.
All right. J-Mac, this question's for you. You have a chance to tie it.
Yeah.
What player was killed by a pitch from Yankees pitcher Carl Mays?
Ooh.
Billy Joe Jim Bob Turner.
Billy Joe, and that is not the correct answer. But at least he threw something out there. Brandon, how about you?
Who was the pitcher again?
Carl Mays.
Carl Mays. Willie Johnson. I don't know.
And that is correct. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I was gonna say. We knew J-Mac pulled a few of those out of his seat last week. So.
Yeah.
The correct answer is actually Ray Chapman.
Oh.
Nope.
All right, so Brandon, this question's for you. What is the name of the fictitious minor league baseball team on the Simpsons TV show?
It's the Isotopes. I can't think of their whole name. It's the Isotopes. I can't think of the name. I know J-Mac's gonna get this one. Yeah, Isotopes. I can't think of the team name. Go ahead, J-Mac.
Springfield.
Oh,
that is correct. Springfield
that's the part I was missing.
I mean, I live like 15 minutes from where it was named after was Springfield, Oregon. So,
okay.
Did you know that, by the way?
No.
Yeah. The creator of it actually said he named it after Springfield, Oregon. I didn't find that out until like 5 years ago. So,
all right, J-Mac, this question's for you. What female pitcher once struck out Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig?
Oh. Because she went by Babe also. I'm going to kick myself because I don't remember the last name. But I'm going to say Babe Aldrich, but I know that's not right.
That is not correct. Brandon.
Yeah, the last name. I was even trying to think of a pitcher from the League of Their Own to throw out there, but I can't think of one. So, yeah, I'll pass it.
The correct answer is Jackie Mitchell. All right. Brandon, this question comes to you. Who was the first reliever elected to the Hall of Fame?
Really?
First reliever. Back in the day, they didn't have too many of them. I'll go Raleigh Fingers.
That is not correct.
Dennis Eckersley.
That is not correct either.
Ooh.
The
That's
correct answer is Hoyt Wilhelm.
Okay.
I don't know who the hell that is. So.
But what's funny about it, though, is Raleigh Fingers and Eckersley were actually on this list to show that they were there, but they were not the first ones elected.
Okay.
J-Mac, this question's for you. The MLB Comeback Player of the Year award was developed as part of a sponsorship agreement involving what product?
Trojan.
No, that is not correct.
The first thing that popped to mind was Spice deodorant.
And that is not correct answer. The correct answer actually is Viagra.
See, I was close.
Yeah, you
Whoa. Wow.
The one time thinking with that head got me almost the right answer.
Oh, man.
Wow. All right. Brandon, this question comes to you. What MLB player holds the record for most consecutive games with a strikeout?
I think I know.
What player? So
yeah, and we're not talking about pitchers. We're talking about what player.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go Jose Canseco.
That is not correct. J-Mac.
Adam Dunn.
That is not correct answer either. So when I even saw this answer, I'm like, really? But the correct answer on this one was Aaron Judge.
Oh wow. Wow, newer than I thought. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because Adam Dunn was the first one to strike out 200 times in a season, so I thought that he would have been the one.
I forgot all about that.
Aaron Judge struck out in 37 consecutive games.
Wow. I do recall.
That seems kind of low.
That does seem low.
It seems kind of low.
It does seem kind of low when we have guys like Johan Camargo still running around.
Right?
Rob Deere.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, so whose question is it?
J-Max.
J-Max. What legendary broadcaster called Dodger games from 1950 through 2016?
Vin Scully. Or Vic Scully, whatever.
No, Vin was right.
Vin Scully.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Point for J-Mac. So J-Mac came back and took the lead. He's up 4-3. All right. This question is for Brandon. Which San Francisco Giants player once hit a home run but didn't score?
Ooh. Once hit a home run and did not score. I'll say Barry Bonds.
That is not correct. J-Mac?
Willie McCovey.
That is not correct. It was Benji Molina.
Oh, more recent than okay. That happened opening day against the Dodgers too this year.
All right, J-Mac. Who was the first baseball player to appear on a box of Wheaties?
First baseball player?
Yeah.
So many names going through my head. Nolan Ryan.
That is not correct. Oh, Nate, J-Mac's up 4-3 just to tell you. All right.
Yeah, there is so many names. I'll go Reggie Jackson.
And that is not correct. The correct answer is Lou Gehrig.
Oh, wow.
Makes sense, yeah.
All right, Brandon, this question's for you. What player holds the record for most hits in a season?
Oh, I know this. Pass it to me. It's not that hard if you think about it.
Oh.
Brandon, if you don't get this right, I think J-Mac's going to get it right, and this is going to be over.
Yeah, I did too. There's two that are popping. God dang it. I know if I say one, it's going to be the other. I'll go Ichiro.
And you got it right.
Okay.
Who was the other one? I'm curious.
I was going to say Pete Rose.
No,
but
actually,
I knew
the other one would have been George Sisler because that's whose record he broke.
Okay.
Yeah. So 4-4. It's going to all come down to this. All right. J-Mac. No. This question. This question is for J-Mac. What player won the American League MVP award in 1989 without making the All-Star team?
89.
Oh, I think I know this.
ADP, AL.
I think J-Mac might have froze.
Oh, he's there.
I can hear him.
Yeah. He is
Robin Yunt. Robin Yunt.
Robin Yunt. That is the correct answer.
Oh, wow.
Robin Yunt is the correct answer. Who were you thinking?
I was thinking McGuire. Because I know he had a good year that year, but
it was Robin Yunt. So congratulations, J-Mac.
Good job, J-Mac.
5-4. But I'll tell you what, that game was really, really close.
Yeah.
It was a good one.
You put the pressure on this time.
Yep.
The pressure was definitely there. It seems like wow, who was putting that up there? That must have been Nate who did that one. Yep. J-Mac won 5-4. This time they chose, for everybody out there, this time they chose to go MLB. So I gave them the option this time, and they chose MLB, and they just chose all around MLB. So when it comes to Wednesday and the mini game again, it'll be back up to you guys if you want to go NFL or MLB. And I guess we'll see. And then when it comes around to it,
Brandon, if you ever get to pick and you want to beat me, if you pick NBA, you'll probably win. Because if it's NBA outside of San Antonio or the 90s Bulls, I know diddly poo.
Oh, I'm with you, J-Mac, on that. So maybe we'll have to do hockey and see if we can both put a shutout up there or something. So
I could beat you in hockey.
You probably could. Even though I live in the state of hockey. So
with that, anyway, so J-Mac, for Wednesday, so I know what we're doing. You will get the option of, are we going to go NFL or are we going to go MLB?
I don't know. We'll have to find out on Wednesday.
Ooh.
I don't even know yet.
So. Oh, okay. He does not know yet, so he hasn't.
A little cliffhanger.
I will give you one guarantee. It won't be NBA.
All right.
It will not be NBA. So I guess we will definitely see when it comes around time. But that's going to be the show. So J-Mac, you got 30 seconds to say whatever it is you got to say.
Just a quick correction. I heard back from Marty Joins, and I apologize, Marty. The golf tournament that we are sponsoring is on May 22nd and not May 12th. I misspoke on the last one on Saturday. Or Wednesday, excuse me. So May 22nd is that tournament. Check that out if you get time. And check us out when we come back on Wednesday. Also, Four Bros Radio Show will be with you, I believe, tomorrow, maybe Monday, but check that out as well.
All right, and then Mr. Brandon Herrera, you got 30 seconds.
Well, you'll see me tomorrow morning as we break down MLB Sunday games. Do our little fantasy pick'em and our game-by-game pick'em with Nate the Great. Also, if you guys are wanting to see a debate, Tuesday, I believe, we got these two, J-Mac and Ace, going head-to-head. Some family rivalry there, so check that out Tuesday in the evening, 7, I believe. I could be wrong on the time, so there should be a great debate on Tuesday.
I believe it's going to be 6 our time, I do believe.
Okay.
But
We're going to decide who the master debater of the house is.
Ooh, I wonder what Mama Barber thinks.
Right.
I'd like to get her opinion.
Well, it's going to be a great debate. J-Mac and I have debated for many, many years on multiple sports. The good thing about it is there's going to be judges this time that is going to be able to decide our debate. The only thing I can say for you, J-Mac, is the best brother win. And I'm telling you what, I'm bringing the A game. I'm bringing the smoke. So,
what's J-Mac got to counter?
What do I got to counter? Win or lose, I'd rather eat a bowl of water with a fork than actually ever care what anyone thinks.
There you go. Wow.
Right. And
sounds like a little Roman Reigns promo cut there.
And Suzanne is saying she's not answering that question because she does not want to answer that question. But I guess when it comes around to it on Tuesday, I guess we will definitely see who is the better debater. And just so everybody knows, too, this is not going to be all NFL questions.
Nope.
I can guarantee it. So I guess we'll all see then. I'm looking forward to it. At least
won't get hosed and get thrown an NBA question this time.
Right. So we go 1-on-1 on Tuesday. So everybody be ready for it. It's going to be lit. It's going to be fire. I'm bringing the smoke. J-Mac is bringing the smoke. And I'll tell you what, there would be nobody else that I would rather lose to. It's going to sound weird.
Oh,
then my Goldberg? Okay, no, then my brother. So I'm just saying. So we're going to see. But I don't know how J-Mac feels about that. If he loses to me, I don't know how he's going to feel about that. But
everyone's got their opinion. Doesn't make it wrong.
Right.
It's all honestly a debate. I think people take this the wrong way. So a debate is not always about who's right and who's wrong.
It's about
not
how
my
you
opinion.
debate it.
it's how you convey your side of the debate. So
absolutely.
Let's just, before we get in it, like, let's remember that, because it was Nate versus Sarge, and I just want to make everyone known that even though they had different sides, neither one of them was right or wrong. It was who conveyed the best debate about their opinion. So,
it is, and I'll tell you what, even though, and I've seen debates in the past to where even though people might get a question about, who's the greatest receiver of all time? The one thing you don't want to do in a debate is when somebody says, the greatest receiver of all time is Jerry Rice. Now, if the first person says Jerry Rice, what you don't want to do is the second person in the debate doesn't want to go, well, he's right, but there's different reasons why. Heck no, I'm not doing that. Even if I think that person might be right, I'm still not going with it. I'm still going to go with a completely different answer, and I'm going to throw out everything I possibly can to make what he's saying wrong.
Or else you throw a curveball like I did in my debate and said Michael Kadire or a utility guy is the most important player on the team. So,
Michael Kadire, that was definitely a shocker.
Did you win your debate?
No, supposedly it was a toss-up.
I was wondering.
But
utility?
After the first I went, but you got to think about, though, if you got a guy that can play 8-9 different positions, how valuable is that to a manager? I mean,
I don't know. I guess we'll see. But I hope everyone's ready for it on Tuesday. It's going to be great.
I didn't freeze that time. I just didn't know how to respond.
Oh, okay. Well, it's going to be great. It's going to be lit. So everybody be looking forward to it on Tuesday. We're going to remind everybody ahead of time. So we'll see you again for another episode of Sports Minute on Wednesday. So see you then. J Mac and myself will see you on Tuesday for our debate. Peace.